Hello and welcome to the Around the Nati podcast. I am your host, Andrew, joined here by my co-host, Logan. And we have a great show. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of UC today. How you doing, Logan?
You know, to be honest, guys, I came very ill-prepared for today's show.
That's right.
And
sounds about right.
Right, and so I've been trying to buy a car. Actually, so I sat at I was at a car dealership for about 6 hours today, and I still don't have a car. Yeah. So that kind of sucks. But Gamble's going to push us through and lead us in our podcast here, and I'm just going to talk about things. And
if you've ever had an argument with Logan, like I'm going to a little bit later in the podcast, if you've been following us on Twitter, you've been seeing the slanderous shit he's been saying on Twitter. We're going to have that a little bit later. But as our new custom here, we have two pretty beers here that we're going to crack open right now. So go ahead, Logan.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That's how you know it's game time. So what we're going to start off with, let me take a sip.
Go. Oh,
I'll say it every episode, but give us a sponsor. We're going to talk a little UC basketball. We had a request from Hayden Sharp. I don't have his Twitter handle on hand.
It's like way too sharp.
Way too sharp with a bunch of Y's. Like he's saying, hey. Yeah, way too sharp. But I know he's listening, so shout out to you. But we're going to talk UC basketball signings. And there's three specific ones I want to talk about. Three that he requested that we talk about in
depth. We're doing signings and transfer?
Yes.
Okay.
So the three he wants us to talk about are Jeremiah Davenport, Javen Cumberland, who I believe was committed today, right?
Yeah, today was when he's
nice. Broke. And then Micah Adams-Woods. All three play guard. I know Davenport plays a little bit of forward as well. But I think there are three really good signings. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into Jeremiah Davenport, which is a hometown boy for us. Mm-hmm. Went to Moeller High School, won back-to-back state championships there, which is nice to have. I think especially for a program like UC, recruiting local talent is huge. Not as huge as football, obviously, because it's not a huge football town.
I wouldn't say. I disagree. I don't think it's not as huge as football. I think that until most recently, the Brian Kelly era, we did great, and then we did really shitty, and then now we're doing well again in recruiting local talent. So I won't say it's not as important, but
I'm not talking about the programs here. I'm talking about the high school atmosphere here. Would you agree with me that high school football is a little bit more prevalent than high school basketball here?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I agree. I thought you were saying the opposite.
No.
I thought you were saying that high school basketball was more prevalent, and I was like, I don't think that's accurate.
No.
I'm like, that's not the culture I'm used to hearing, no.
But yeah, with Jeremiah Davenport, he actually was at a military academy, Hargrave Military Academy, trying to get his recruitment stock up a little bit.
Right.
From what I heard, his grades weren't where they needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, it has a basketball team where he gets to face some, decent level of talent. Obviously not something that you'll see at UC.
Right.
Or, a legit collegiate basketball school.
Right.
But he'll get some of that. It also has the military aspect, which I think is super unique, and I think it has some really good aspects that work towards team building, team cohesiveness and stuff like that. And he said that as well. But he's actually a huge dude. He's listed at 6'7".
Yeah,
big dude. He can play both guard and a little bit of forward as well,
mm-hmm.
Which I think could be really helpful for us, with matchups, creating some favorable matchups for us and things like that. What do you think?
Yeah, well, so first of all, I saw him play in high school a little bit.
Yeah.
I was covering Withrow High School at the time.
Yeah.
And they actually played Moeller in the playoffs his senior year. And
right.
And I forget the kid's name, but there was also a kid there, 6'10". He was a 5-star recruit, went on to play he's at Texas right now.
Yeah.
I forget his name off the top of my head. But anyways, Davenport wasn't as big then. I think he's grown a good 3 inches since high school.
I also think they fudged his numbers a little bit. I think he's a little under 6'7".
Yeah, but even, there was no way the kid was taller than 6'2", maybe 6'3" at the time.
Really?
I think he really sprouted up. So, but he moves like a guard. He's got great ball handling skills. At least he did it at the high school level. I don't know. We'll see how that translates at a mid-major school, Division I. We'll see what goes on there. But I think more than anything, I think with this recruit / transfer signee, as well as the others, I think you're seeing a transition
in the culture,
and in the scheme as well. I think what you saw at NKU was a lot of small ball, and a lot of great shooting.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about, and we'll talk about him here in a second, but also, I mean, Cumberland he's a shooter.
Yeah, he's a scorer.
He's a shooter that we don't know.
That
we don't know what it's like to have a shooter like him at UC, not in recent memory at least. I mean, other than SK2K, like that's it. And it's funny because and if Nate Fort Clark is listening to this, I was like,
"What up, Nate?"
I was like, he is our better version of Makura. That's who.
Oh God,
that's who he is.
Don't, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you doing?
I'm not saying he has the personality of a thumbtack or my left infected hair in my butt, but like, because that's what JP Makura has and brings to the table. Is like he's kind of like that infected hair on your ass when you sit down, and it's just like, God, that's really annoying. Let me just pluck that out, you know.
Yeah.
He's about as ugly as one too, and but so he's not that. But in terms of, I mean, he's gonna be a good 3-and-D guy. I mean, he has decent size, can guard the perimeter well, shoots three really well, and again, we're not used to having that kind of 3-point presence and that kind of range. So that'll be a nice welcomed response. But I'm sorry, I'm getting away from Davenport a little bit.
Yeah, well, talking about scoring, Davenport's no slump either. I mean, as far as his statistics at the Hargrave Academy, I don't really have those. But in high school, if it's
16.5 points a game, 7.4 rebounds, 2.1 steals. So he shot 42% from three.
So it's almost it's a little bit better. I mean, in high school he shot 15 points per game. Around 6 rebounds per game, and then a little over 2 assists per game as well. So he's definitely seeming like he's rounding out as a player. Obviously, him getting a little bit bigger is helping that out as well. Because if they're listing him at 6'7", my God, that's a large human being. But yeah, I think it's a really exciting signing for the Bearcats, and I think he'll be a great piece to put in.
Yeah, well,
in a roster that's slowly shaping.
And I still think that part of the reason Jaren Cumberland came back is because I think that we are going to try to feature him as the primary ball handler.
And unfinished business, right?
Well, I think his unfinished business is that he's trying to build his draft stock.
Yep. He wasn't even invited to the...
Well, and I think part of that's going to be, I think as a result of that, I think he'll be our primary ball handler.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll really free these guys up to really, one, move off ball and be the great shooters that they can be.
Right.
And I think that the ability to spread the floor like that is going to open things up for Jaren a lot more, because what you saw last year, I mean, either we're seeing people were hedging off screens on Jaren, they were doubling them in the corner, or they would just pack the paint and say, okay, if you're going to shoot the lights out, but we're not letting you in. And that we didn't have any shooters who commanded or spread the floor at all.
Right.
And I think that's going to be the biggest asset to this Bearcats team. I'm going to be honest with you. 2 weeks ago, when we didn't know Cumberland was coming back, and things were looking a little bleak.
I was nervous.
I was
for sure nervous.
I was nervous, and we had kids transferring left and right and decommitting. And but again, I think strictly for this next season, as long as the kids he's bringing in that are able to produce, as they have in the past, I think you'll see a lot of that same or a lot more of that ability to, one, free up Jaren Cumberland and move and distribute, and they'll command a lot more respect from the defense and open up the lanes a little bit as well.
Here's my question to you. Okay. Do you see him being utilized as much as he was last year? Because last year they used him quite a bit. And, that was the big question, is how much, Jaren's going to play. And, he averaged 30% of the game,
I think his utilization will pretty much be really similar. And
yeah.
I think he might even have the ball his hands more often than he did before, because you don't have Kane Barim or Justin Jennifer anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that he'll be more efficient. Like last year, I mean, there was a lot of inefficient games, and I think you saw, for Christ's sake, we lost to
ECU.
We lost to ECU. And I think it was in part to the fact that he was really inefficient, turned the ball over a lot in the first half. But that's because the defenses can key in on him like that, and it's hard to get a rhythm going whenever you're being keyed in on like that. And but now again, I think things are going to open up for him. So to answer your question directly, I think that his utilization will probably still be just as high, if not higher, because he'll be handling the ball more. But I think that with that being said, he'll also find a way to be more efficient though with his touches. So
I agree, and one thing I think you guys will realize as we go through these signees and things like that is it's looking like they're going with some score first players, which is something that we haven't seen at UC.
Right.
And to me, it's exciting. I know we talked earlier about how that would work in a small market team like us, not small market, but like a smaller school.
We're not one of the Power 6 basketball schools.
Right. Yeah, but it looks like they're kind of tweaking
by the
it
way,
a little bit.
I just want to say too, people are going to try to correct me. If you're a true advocate, if you're a true follower of college basketball, they call that it's not the Power 5, it's the Power 6 because they include the Big East as a power conference school. Just to let everyone know, so don't anyone yell at me.
Clarified. Boom. But
Boom,
but
roasted.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're seeing a small.
Oscar, you're gayer than Andy. No, Andy, you're gayer than Oscar.
But we're shifting to some players that are a little bit more offensive oriented, which is cool, I think. But let's move on to the next signee, and probably the one I'm most excited about because it's kind of a familiar name. It's Jaren's cousin. I believe it's Javen. I don't want to butcher it, but it's Javen Cumberland. Also guard, 6'3". Now he's a little unique as well. He was with the Oakland Grizzlies.
Yep.
And his first 3 seasons are not anything to brag about. Saw little to no action, severely limited playing time. Never saw points per game over around 9, and obviously that's due to just not playing time. And he never even really started a game.
Right.
But however, we saw last year, in his last year, that he can do it, and he has that it factor that Jaren has, to be a legit scorer in the NCAA. Last season, full-time starter, averaged 17.2 points per game, had a high of 31 in a game, which is promising as hell, actually. And this dude rains threes. I mean, absolutely rains threes. His percentage last year was 67.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Legit scorer. Like I said, he's got that it factor,
And for me, I think for him to be effective, the only thing that he has to do is rebound somewhat well, defend the perimeter well, and if you can hit three threes a game, I mean that's all you can ask for from him.
Yeah.
Again, just enough to keep the defense honest, make it honest. Attempt off the bench. Maybe get to the line a couple times. I definitely don't see any reason why he can't be a double-digit scorer.
Yeah.
There's obviously going to be some rapport there. They play together at Wilmington High School. Again, I think that there's a lot of things that are going right in the right direction, and I think that if you look at NKU's offense from last year, I think that the scheme will fit his playing style well in terms of in and out. The 3-point shot is really heavily encouraged, and so I think that they'll definitely be able to find rotations. If not as a starter, then definitely be able to come off the bench and make an impact. Yeah,
well, he's not all sunshine and rainbows here. Like, as much as we want to be, I'm going to be Captain Pessimism right here. His defense does leave something to be desired. Last year he posted his lowest defensive rating, which is just block steals, things like that. And to be honest with you, I'm not overly worried about that, as long as the offense outshines that a little bit. However, UC's been built on defense.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that will improve as he...
Well, and I think what will happen. I think it'll put more onus on Diarra. Mm-hmm. I think Diarra's going to have to play...
What's his first name? Mamadou?
Mamadou. I think Mamadou Diarra is going to have to play extremely well this year because you're going to... just because of the nature of the coaching style and the players as well. I mean, you're going to see players get beat off the dribble. You're going to see guys, who can't stay in front. We're not used to seeing defenses that don't switch well, and Mick Cronin would never commit. Like, do you play zone? Do you play man? It's like it was something that was in between.
Yeah, it's like
I don't foresee that being the case anymore. And so I think you'll see a lot more man to man, if not then at least zone. And you'll see guys get beat a lot. And I think part of that Our big thing with that is Mamadou Diarra is going to have to really step up and maybe that much better of a rim protector. It's going to force him to hopefully puts on some damn weight. The kid got bullied last year and the year before that.
Yeah.
So and also, can we start? They don't spell his name right. They don't spell it right on his jersey. They don't spell it right on the scorecards.
What, last name or first name?
Last name and
Diarra.
And I feel like they get closer and closer spelling diarrhea each time they make a new card. So okay, are we trying to send the kid a message? All right, I don't think so. I don't think he's that shitty. He's not diarrhea. He's Diarra. What it do? He's not a Xavier player. He doesn't deserve to say shit on his jersey.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's fine.
That's what I'm talking about, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Again, I think it's another score first player. It's definitely something I like to see. I think it's a good sign by us. I think it's gonna be cool to have him and Jaren playing together, which would be fun. But that leads us to our third and final signee that we want to talk about here. That's Micah Adam Woods. He's from Syracuse, New York. He's a 3-star recruit, 6'3", another guard. I didn't really know much going into it, but I did look into his draft profile, things like that. Kind of looked at his stats and things, and what I took from that is, I think he's going to be a good role player out the gate. I don't know if he's going to carry the team. He can't carry a team on his own. But I think he's gonna be a great fit for us. I think he's gonna add, a lot of value for us as well. I looked at his high school stats, averaged 19 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, almost 5. He had about 2 assists per game, so he's definitely a score first player as well. Yeah. But again, as long as he's a role player, and I hope his defense is there as well, and he fits into our scheme and what we're trying to do. I can't see why he can't be a really good role player for us.
And I think the one of the great things, and perhaps underrated, is that he's got 4 years of eligibility too. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be huge. I think that he can probably fill that role that Kane Broom kind of played last year, where he came off the bench. You add another scorer,
exactly.
Someone to kind of relieve, and he can also handle the ball as well. And kind of take away that pressure from Jaren a little bit when needed, or if Jaren needs a rest, you bring him in, and you don't lose as big of a step offensively. And I think that since he does have 4 years of eligibility, it also gives him time to go through and groom himself into a better defender, into a better playmaker.
I agree.
And eventually, in theory and hopefully, he turns into a starter. And eventually, the primary ball handler, it takes on more of the Troy Copain, Justin Jennifer role that we're used to seeing, and that's what it's always been. It's always been we've had someone who's played point and someone coming in off the bench.
Yeah.
For a long time it was Justin Jennifer, and before that it was Troy Copain, and they both end up playing significant minutes in their junior and senior seasons, and end up being huge contributors. So I think that we'll see similar things from them, and hopefully that, the biggest thing for me is whoever's being the primary ball handler is just managing the turnover ratio. And the assist to turnover ratio is super important. Justin Jennifer had one of the highest in the nation last year.
Yeah.
And so I think, again, if we can get anything close to that level of production, especially from someone coming off the bench, that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty much all I have on it. Sorry, Hayden, if this isn't what you wanted, us agreeing on everything.
Should have called, boy.
Wanted us agreeing on everything, but you know what? We're UC fans to the core. I'm really excited for the season.
I'm kind of offended by that because you make it seem like I'm not a fan of some other team that we talk about when you say, because you make it seem like we only disagree about other things because I'm not a fan. But I'm a fan of all of the same
after
teams
this
as
take you're about to sling out, I'm about to headbutt you. Okay.
Well, I don't.
No, we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, bite your tongue, witch.
All right.
But yeah, I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to see how the roster shapes out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be new. Definitely Cincinnati has a lot of...
This could be the start of something new.
Yeah.
High School Musical? Anyone? No?
But yeah, I think it's an exciting year in Cincinnati.
I am excited.
With all these new coaching changes.
I am very excited.
So that's what we're going to say on that. I'm going to kind of give us a soft transfer to baseball here.
Right, just a little soft one.
We're going to stick around
a flaccid transition
with UC baseball. UC baseball, if you haven't heard or if you haven't looked on Twitter, you've been under a rock. They went to the NCAA tournament in the first time in 45 years. With the new coach, his second year. He took
started like 1-9 too.
Yeah, and he took him to the tourney in his second season, and I was excited. I had a couple buddies from high school play UC baseball, and I was excited to see that. And
really, who?
Jake Richmond.
Oh,
I wouldn't call him a buddy; I'd call him an acquaintance. But
like, I know who he is. I know that man.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, they went into the first round and right off the bat beat the reigning national championships in Oklahoma State. They beat them 7-6 on some late runs in the 8th and 9th, which was really exciting. I actually watched the game, so I was.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say the Xavier Musketeers beat them? The defending national. Oh no, you said UC.
No,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I would
not Xavier.
I would never say that. Which there was an interesting thing that happened in the middle of the game, and I wanted to get your take on this, and I wanted to kind of see how you felt.
Okay. With it.
So I'm gonna set the scene here. Bases are loaded, right? After today, the draft happened. The number one draft pick was up the plate.
Yep.
They intentionally walked in with the bases loaded.
Yep.
What's your take on that? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, game respects game. You know what I mean? I think that's just what it was. You used to see it quite a few times whenever, Barry Bonds was roided out of his mind.
It happened one time with Barry Bonds.
And, here's my thing. I don't think you ever just give up runs.
Yeah.
But, you understand, your offense has been hot. You have confidence in your players' ability to score runs and get runners across the plate.
Yeah.
I think that was, and I think it's always a 50-50 call. You end up going to lose that game. People, are going to ridicule you. You're going to get murdered by the media. But they won, and so it paid off. And
well, it didn't pay off in the time. That inning, they actually took the lead,
right,
by 1 run. So whatever. It paid off in the long run, I guess. But in the moment, it didn't seem like such a smart decision.
Right.
But you know what? They beat the reigning national champions. That's a pretty cool thing to hang your hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they wish they would have gone farther. They lost the next two after that.
Right.
Being kicked out by Michigan. Can you believe that?
I really can.
Yeah, whatever.
It did suck though. It was weird because usually Michigan is opposing Ohio State. So even though I'm not a Michigan fan, I find myself rooting for Michigan quite often.
About once a year when they lose.
At least once a year, and
when they lose.
You know what though? Also, side note, and I hate to go back to basketball, but Juwan Howard, man, I really like that signing for Michigan. I'm really excited to see him.
This isn't a Michigan podcast. We're not going into
and I'm really excited to see what he does there.
Okay.
Juwan Howard's a good guy. He deserves some airtime.
Right on. Okay.
Juwan Howard, he former Miami Heat.
All right.
Woo!
But I think overall they could count the season as a success. Obviously, it's not what they wanted.
I think when you start 1-9 and you end up eventually going on to beat the last year's national champions. That's pretty impressive. I don't know that
especially
you
in
can
a coach's second season.
Yeah,
that's huge. I think it's indicative of things to come from this program. I'm really excited. And that's where we're going to go on that. I don't really have much more on that. I just wanted to bring it up, give them the props, because I love that. I love it. It's good stuff. But we're going to move on to Reds. We're not getting to the argument yet. Okay. We're not getting to the argument yet.
All right.
The draft was tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Did you see who we drafted?
Yeah, the kid out of TCU.
Yeah.
The pitcher.
Stud. I saw comparisons to Chris Sale.
God.
What do you mean, oh, God?
He hasn't even pitched a game in the minor leagues yet.
Okay.
Can we wait?
Can we just have comparisons?
Sure. Give me the comparison.
In pitch styles? I don't have anything other than that. I just saw comparisons. He was drafted out of high school.
Right.
First overall.
Yeah.
Or not first overall, first round.
Yeah.
Went back to college. And he's only gotten better. He's only gotten bigger. The analysts say, he's looking like a stud. I'm excited. First pitcher off the board. Obviously, we're still banking it off of last year's Reds, so we got that nice premium pick.
Right.
So I'll take it to add to our legit pitching staff that we got going here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Admittedly, I don't find myself watching TCU baseball very often.
Yeah.
So I really don't know much about the kid itself. But here's my thing: the first 8 picks of the draft. I mean, you can't miss on the
Exactly.
Like you have to hit those. You absolutely have to. So if they took this kid with the number 7 pick, then he should be a contributor in our major league system the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And with his age though, probably sooner in theory.
Right.
You know, it's not a kid out of high school like Hunter Green.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Green probably is a good. Well, if he ever can get healthy, is probably a good 4 to 5 years away.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing though. I think that so I give the kid probably 3 years.
Yeah.
And so what are you working with? Well, you've got Luis Castillo, and I think that you can agree that he's probably going to be in the starting rotation for the foreseeable future, barring injury or some kind of catastrophic meltdown.
Yeah.
Like it or love it. Sorry, love it or hate it, rather. Tyler Mahle will probably still be there. Again, I don't think that's a bad young piece.
I'm going to be honest with you. As far as the Reds go right now, I'd rather see Disco down than Mahle.
I mean, yeah.
If Alex Wood ever plays for the Reds, well, I would love to see Disco go down because Disco is throwing the home run derby every day.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good.
Well, and at least for the next 3 years, you have Sonny.
Yep.
So again, love it or hate it, 3 years he's going to be there.
I like Sonny.
Again, I don't hate it. I think he's a fine 4 or 5 guy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I agree, and that's where he's at right now.
But so, anyways, in theory, this kid should be able to come up. Again, we don't know if he's going to be a starter or reliever. If you drafted that high, he should be a starter.
Yeah.
So let's see how he goes. I mean, hopefully he ends up being a solid, between 2 and 4 guy, somewhere in that 8 range. And if he's an ace, that's awesome. I don't think it's ever responsible to try to project a kid that just because so much can happen too. I mean, you saw with Hunter Green. I mean,
especially with baseball, man. Especially with pitchers.
Especially with the way the kids are throwing nowadays, man. Yeah. I mean, and he went to college. He's got a lot of wear and tear on that arm. And the velocity that kids are throwing at now, and the pitch counts that are getting up to.
Putting on their arms, man.
I mean, there's a lot, and it's.
I'm excited.
But kids are bigger, stronger, faster than ever. So we'll see. And he's a lefty, which is great. Adds some dimension to the starting rotation. Again, I think there's always a certain level of risk with draft picks, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
Right. I mean, if my thing is, I will never be upset for someone going and getting their guy. Like I know, for example, like in football, a lot of people hated on the Bengals for drafting what's the tight end's name?
Sample.
Yeah, Drew Sample in the 3rd round. But
he's polished.
He's their guy. I mean, they went and got their guy. And I'm mad. I mean, people crucified the Chiefs for trading up to get Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
worked out pretty all right for them.
Well, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, everyone slept on him. 5 quarterbacks went ahead of him. I don't think that. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with going and getting your guy. That was their guy. We haven't had great success in terms of pitching prospects coming through our system.
Ain't that the truth?
But hopefully
our trade game's on point though, isn't it?
We've done well. We've done well.
Our trade game's on point.
And you know what? And I think that we've brought some pretty decent bats up as well. I mean, Taylor Trammell's doing well.
I'm excited.
Van Meter
Senzel's been killing it.
Yeah, I mean Van Meter was doing well down low. I mean,
has he though? I mean, he's not ready. Let's be real. Van Meter's not ready.
He was winning Player of the Week almost every week.
I know. He's in that weird stage right now.
Yeah, he's like
where he's not ready for the majors, but he's better than.
He's a Jumbo Diaz kind of guy.
It's like. Yeah.
It's like you're too good for AAA, but not quite good enough.
It's like that high school player who's like too good for JV, but not good enough for varsity. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, though, too. Like you also have to understand, like he's not Nick Senzel, where he was that high of a draft pick, and he's not been given everyday at bats. You know, it's hard enough to come up and play well at the major league level, let alone doing it with limited at bats. I mean that's tough. I think he's doing fine. He's batting like 194. Well, it's not hateful.
I'm not saying he's horrible. I'm just saying he's not ready. He's not ready to be in the major leagues.
I agree. I still don't understand why Philip Irvin's not up here. That confuses the hell out of me.
He just got Player of the Month.
Yeah, with the bats. I don't understand.
It's so confusing.
I can't begin to fathom.
Why
I don't know if they don't like him. I don't know if he's got like I don't know if it's a locker room thing.
Maybe he smells.
Maybe he smells weird. I don't know. Maybe he has
Why
herpes.
Why does Zach Duke
You heard
have
it here
a roster
first.
spot?
You heard it here first.
No,
Philip Irvin has herpes.
No.
Breaking news.
Why?
Why?
Why does Zach Duke have a roster
Or
spot?
Wandy Peralta.
Peralta.
Well, Cody Reed's hurt right now.
Give me Cody Reed, baby. Give me him.
Cody Reed's hurt right now, but
Well, he'll be back. That also leads me to another thing, Reds-wise. Before we get into this, Lucas Sims, did you see that start?
yeah, I was about to say that kid. He
Balled out.
He played well.
I'd rather see him pitch over Disco.
The energy he had on the mound, dude, it was wicked.
Yeah, he was balling out.
He just went in there and he was like, I am going. And first of all, I mean, they attributed to the pitch timer in the minor leagues, but the kid was like, he was getting up, he was getting set, taking his pitch.
That's what you have to do, I think. If you're nervous, you gotta get in a rhythm. You know, you gotta get in a rhythm.
Well, and I think he has what DeSclafani is lacking right now, and that's confidence, man.
Yeah.
I truly believe in his mind. He thought every time he threw the ball, his stuff was better than the person that was batting, and he was going to strike or get them out every single time.
Yeah, and he did pretty much.
I mean,
what do you have? One hit into the eighth?
Yeah, and then you give it that.
I know. I'm so mad at David Bell. The one time I want you to be metrified.
Yeah.
Like, just pull the boy out so he can leave with a quality start.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. We could have used him this homestand. Good God. Well, actually, I mean,
they sent his ass down.
I still can't believe we didn't win the series against the Nationals.
Yeah.
How? Why?
I don't know.
Why? Tell me.
Bad pitching.
Tell me why.
I don't know. Bad pitching, man.
They couldn't. They couldn't hit against Max Scherzer. And I get it. Max Scherzer is a dog.
Let's be real.
He's a dog. Okay, I get it. He's really good. One of the probably, in my opinion, one of the two best pitchers in the major leagues right now.
He's number one.
I didn't say he's not number one. He's one of the two best.
Who's the other?
Clayton Kershaw's still just dangerous. That's someone you still
His
fear when you
ERA's
go
at like 4.
I don't care. That's a person that.
Come on, dude.
When people make bets to each other, if they can get hits off, like that's still a guy that people fear.
I'm just saying. I don't know if he's even top 5 right now.
Justin Verlander's also up there.
Verlander's very good. Yeah. I think Syndergaard's really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd say for me, my top 3. If you said to me, okay, Logan, you have to win a World Series this year, pick one of 3 pitchers. I'd either pick Verlander, Scherzer, or what's his name? Help me.
The one I just said?
The Dodgers. Who was it?
Kershaw?
Yeah, Kershaw. Thank you.
See, he's not even that good. You can't remember.
I literally just blanked so
also,
hard.
I just want to point out that a World Series is not one game. That's not how that works.
I said this season.
You're wrong, dude.
What are you talking about?
You're wrong, dude. You don't know nothing.
That's one of the people I would.
I'm just messing with you, dog.
I don't understand.
I'm just messing.
I don't understand. He's full of nonsense. I don't know. But yeah, no. And you know what? To that point, that's why we won't make the playoffs. You can say what you want about the pitching, the batting doesn't. That's why we won't make the playoffs, because you have to win those series. You have to win those series.
Now let me stop you right there, because the National League Central is the closest division in baseball right now.
Yeah, and guess who's in the basement?
Dude, we're 5 games back. 5.5 games back.
It doesn't matter.
We are not anywhere near out of this thing.
That's fine. We're 6.5 games back, actually. But that's fine. But if you're going to make a push, it's got to be, first of all, it's got to start now.
I agree.
You need to start a month ago.
But you
can't lose 2 of 3 to the Nationals.
You're completely missing the fact that they won the series against the Cubs twice. That's the only series the Cubs... Dude, they're playing good teams. They're winning more series than they're losing at this point.
They should have... No, they're splitting. They're splitting or losing.
No, I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree? Okay,
I disagree.
The month of May.
The
month of May, okay? So, you split the series with the Mets. You split the series with the Giants. You win the series against the A's. Split the series with the Giants. Win against the Cubs. Lose the Dodgers. Split with Brewers.
That was a 2-game series. Let's relax.
But still, that you should have won both those games. Those are both games they should have won. I'm just saying, they're in the driver's seat in both those games. They should have won. Won the games against the Cubs. So you've beaten the Cubs and the A's all of May, and everyone else either split or lost to. That's it.
I'm just saying, man, they're trending upwards. I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, I think they're interesting. I'm still enjoying watching Reds baseball.
I'm not looking for you to say they're interesting. I'm not looking for that.
What do you want me to say?
I'm saying I think they can do this. And I don't believe...
Well, don't ask me to say that, because that would be me lying.
Exactly. I don't believe you think that. And you know what? That's fine.
They've done nothing to prove... They've done nothing to show me that they can. They're a last-place team. I don't...
All right, man. Well, you know what? Don't be there when we're at the top.
I said... I'm hoping...
No. Don't be there when we're at the top, dog. All
okay.
Right? All right. When we're at the top...
What?
Drinking champagne in the clubhouse.
I'll buy you a case of beer if they end up making the playoffs.
All right.
What are you gonna do for me if they don't?
I'm not gonna do anything
because you know they're not.
No. I'll buy you a case. I'll buy you a case of beer.
You heard it here. He owes me a case of beer.
I also bought his beer today, so
he
let's
did. This 24-ounce beer, which I haven't drank yet.
20 ml. But yeah, you know what? I firmly believe they're trending upwards, and if you don't see that, you're crazy. I think their bats are waking up finally. Everybody across the board.
Yeah, I think that they are waking up. But I don't know. Again, I've seen good things. I've seen vast improvement. But in terms of, it's just not. It's just not where. I don't know. It's just not where we need to be yet. It's not. We're not quite there yet. You know. Again, yeah. I think we're making improvement, but I don't expect the last place team to go to first place. I don't expect that.
God, enough. I'm
saying last year's last place team.
Oh, okay.
Like from last year to this year, like I don't expect to go from the basement to the top.
I'm telling you,
I don't know that's reasonable.
We have a chance here, and I don't know if you're fully realizing the chance. And you know what? I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. I don't like your attitude. You suck.
Okay.
Okay. Even if it's a wild card, I'll cream. Okay, that's all I got to say. But on that, we are down to the moment of the hour. The moment that you have all been waiting for. The Votto Dietrich debate. Everyone, if you had a chance to look onto Twitter and see what Logan was spewing hot garbage out of his mouth.
Oh, stop.
Hot, steaming garbage out of his mouth. He said that Dietrich should take over every day for Joey Votto. Is that correct?
Yep.
Why?
Because if you look at right now, today, and what I'll say is, I don't really care who it is. When a player is as hot as Dietrich was at the time, especially, where literally his last 7 hits had all been home runs. 6 hits had all been home runs. You play the hot hand, and 2, Joey Votto was 1 hurt, and not play, and 2, he's not been playing well. Now,
he has been playing.
Now, the funny thing is that literally the day after I said that,
yeah,
he came out, and I think he had a 4-hit game.
Dude, Joey Votto
was hilarious.
I'm going to be honest. Joey Votto's trending up. And for anybody who watches Joey Votto or listens to Joey Votto talk about his hitting process, is we all know Joey Votto starts slow. This season, I'll admit, he started slower than most times, and he stayed slow for a little bit longer than he normally has. However, his approach is he finds his swing, whatever that means. He finds a swing that's comfortable, that he can get, and then he replicates that swing for the rest of the season. And to be honest with you, I think he's found it. Because the last 10 games, he's raised his batting average by 40 points. I mean, he's slashing the ball all over the field. Obviously, he's not crushing it. His slugging percentage is down. And your big thing is the game's centered around home runs. I don't agree, but I'll concede he's hitting less home runs. Let me finish here real quick. But I think he's found that swing, and I wouldn't be surprised.
It's ugly.
No, I don't care if it's ugly. If it hits green grass, I don't care. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Joey Votto hitting near 300 or over 300 at the end of the season.
For me, it's all about run production. Okay, whether that's in the form of home runs, doesn't matter. If you're getting across the plate or you're getting others across the plate, that's what I'm about. Okay, so let's look at the stats. These are all facts I'm giving you. Okay, and this is why I'm right, because these are facts.
Right.
So, Dietrich has 24 runs. Joey Votto does have 30. That's 6 more runs that he's crossed the plate. Right. However, Derek Dietrich also has 37 RBIs, whereas Joey Votto only has 11. Okay. So he's getting more runs across the plate with less at-bats, less appearances.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'll also address Nate Clark on Twitter, who came at me because he then said something to the effect of, well, what about, there's other guys, and I think it might have been Hayden too, was coming at me. So let's look at it, okay? Joey Votto, because he said something about Jesse Winker. Joey Votto, again, 30 runs, Winker 29. Joey has one more run. So right now his run differential is +1 for Joey Votto. However, if you look at RBIs, Jesse Winker has 18. Joey Votto has 11. That makes the run differential positive in the favor of Winker by 7. So therefore, he's a more productive player. Okay? So then let's take a look at Yasiel Puig, which I think is where you have the best argument against me. Okay, so let's look at Yasiel Puig. Okay? Yasiel Puig, he has 22 runs. Joey Votto has 30. It's a +8 for Joey Votto. Then you look at RBIs. Okay? Yasiel Puig has 32. He has 11. Okay? That's, again, that the run differential is in favor of Yasiel Puig. The production is not there for Joey Votto. Now, the last few games, again, I agree. I think he's trending upwards. I think he's been doing what we needed him to do all season long, which is just get on base. And that's really all I need Joey Votto to do, which his on-base percentage isn't even bad.
Earlier this week, you said home runs win games.
I agree.
So you just need him to get on base? What are you talking about? That makes no. You're just counter your argument. You just need him to get on base, but you also need him to crack home runs.
No,
every time
this year we needed him to get on base to get him across the plate, but he's not driven in any runs. He's not beginning. So my thing is then again it goes down to he's not batting. He wasn't hitting well. His on base percentage was not terrible, but certainly not good. Not Joey Votto numbers, and not nearly as good as Derek Dietrich, who I said should get more first base appearances than
I agree. Not first base appearance. I agree he should get more playing time. But you're telling me Peraza's hitting better than Joey Votto?
I wouldn't have I'd have Peraza on the bench too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying what's wrong with what they're doing right now? What's wrong with what they're doing? When everybody needs a break, they're giving Dietrich those times. Dietrich is playing well in these pinch hit roles. And like you said in an earlier podcast that we had, is you don't think he can do it when he gets consistent at bats. And we've seen the lack of production when he gets consistent at bats.
Yeah, but and that's fine though. And I think any reasonable person can change their mind based on new information. But right now, with the information we have, the most productive player is Derek. Not as of today because he's been playing well the last couple of games. But as of before the National Series, yes, absolutely.
He tore the Cubs up. In both series, he tore the Cubs up.
He played all right against the Cubs.
He raised his average by 30%.
Well. He's not, again,
30 points.
Again, I got rips because I said that if my options are either Derek Dietrich sitting on the bench or him playing first base over Joey Votto, right now, today, I picked Derek Dietrich.
Dude, come on. Like we know what Joey Votto can do. And first off, I also want to address, you said he declined last year. I looked up his stats compared to the MLB average. You're out of your mind, okay? You're out of your mind.
I didn't say he wasn't good last year. I said he declined, which is true. That's accurate.
He did decline.
His stats were significantly different.
Bro, he declined
significantly
from
worse.
Second place in the MVP voting. Anybody would decline off of that.
12 home runs.
Dude, I don't care about home runs. I don't care.
12 home runs.
I don't care. Dude, literally last year his on base percentage was .417, right? MLB average 324. His slugging percentage was slightly lower than average because it's a home run game now. Whatever. 419, 426 with the MLB average. His OPS 837. You know what the MLB average was last year?
Give it to me.
Guess. 750. Dude, he was crushing in every stat. He was slapping the ball all over the yard. Don't start this stuff with me, dog.
I'm telling you. Last year he was
declining. He's still one of the best players in the league. I don't know what you're talking about.
This year he's not been one of the best players in the league.
Nobody on the Red staff has, other than
yeah, but there are players who've been better than him.
Slightly.
So what do you mean slightly? We just went over significantly different run production.
I wouldn't even argue that Derek Dietrich is miles ahead of Joey Votto. Just because he's smacking the long ball,
no, because he's producing runs.
Listen.
Today, Derek Dietrich is the better player. Now, if tomorrow Joey Votto starts fucking lighting it up, I'm all about putting him in over Derek. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. My thing is, I don't let names and
I don't
egos
either.
dictate to
I
me
don't
who we're going to
either.
play.
I don't either. But if you've watched Joey Votto play, you've known he has had historically slow starts. If you watched, have you ever even watched a Reds game? Two, you know what he's capable of once he gets going. And three, I just.
But why should we sit by the wayside and take away playing time from other players who are being more productive right now today?
I'm just telling you, I don't think Joey Votto is the plug player you take out.
When you're the last place team, you don't have time to let your aging former star figure it out. You don't have that luxury. If we were in the first place team and we were 10 games ahead, I would say fine. That's different. But the reality is you aren't getting run production on a consistent basis from anyone. So when you are, you better take advantage of it. Yeah. And right now, we have to ride the hot hand, ride the hot bat. That's all I'm saying.
My question to you is why Joey Votto out of everybody on that lineup? I'm telling you right now, Joey Votto is not the worst batter in that lineup, and I think that's
who else do you take out?
Peraza, I think, sits. To be honest,
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with him. But okay, when Scooter comes back, who do you take out?
Who do I take? I'm not taking Votto out.
I'm asking, who do you take out? I'm not asking who you don't take. I'm asking who you do take out. Who you take out?
I'm telling you, I think Winker's the weak link, as far as that goes. I just, to be honest, I don't see Dietrich as an everyday player. I just don't see it. I like what the Reds are doing.
And I'll say to you, I certainly don't. I want to hold this. I want you to hold this or hold you to this though, because when the season's over and he's a free agent and he wants more money, and you want to sign him, I agree with you. He's not an everyday player, but right now he should be because he's the hot bat.
Like I said, I don't think more at bats increase stats. I just don't. He
has better stats with limited amount of bats.
I'm telling you right now. I'm saying I don't think increased at bats equal.
I'm not even talking about betting. I'm not even talking about batting average. I'm just talking about sheer run production.
I know, and I'm telling you right now. I think he's better. I think he's better off the bench.
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe you're right, but I think that. Again, I think that you let him play. You let him play a lot. Let him play until he's not hot anymore.
Well, we'll see. And you know what? That's where we're going to leave that. Yep. I still don't feel like we got anywhere. I still disagree.
Listen, folks. I've presented you the facts. My argument is based on my production.
You're not going to get anybody to agree with you.
Yeah, because it's an unpopular opinion. Because it's a fan favorite. It's Joey Votto. It's the franchise. I get it. We're paying him a lot of money. That money's spent. It's gone. Don't give me the argument. That's horse crap. Doesn't matter. If you're worried about winning, play the best, most productive players at that time. That's what you should do. If your goal is to win, that's what you should do. And it shouldn't matter. Your star shouldn't be exempt from criticism.
Then right now, sit Peraza until he's.
I'm totally fine with that.
If he's still hot by the time Scooter's back, fine.
I have no argument there.
Whatever. Well, there you have it, folks. We're gonna actually be cutting this one a little bit short today. I
have to go take care of brother responsibilities, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do apologize. I'd love to sit here and bicker like an old couple with Logan. However, he's got some things that he's got to take care of.
Don't worry, the loving afterwards worth all the bickering.
That's right. But again, I plead to you, please like and subscribe. Share it, please. Get the word out there as much as possible. Logan left me his beer. He took probably 2 sips, so I'll take a sip of this.
Yep, go! Woo!
I'm not going to chug it. I'm a grown man. However, I would like to give a shout out to Saige Meyer. The logo you're seeing on the background was made by him, given to us for free. We really appreciate that. We also have some new things coming. We're hopefully having to have a custom intro song soon, very soon. We're going to have some different background choices and things like that as well.
Yep.
But we really appreciate the people who are supporting us, watching our videos every time they come out. That means a lot. If you haven't yet, follow me. I'm Girly Hummin, GirlieHummin on Twitter.
We still know what that means.
You'll never will. And Logan?
Anyways, my Twitter's chow_Logan. Follow me on there. we really appreciate you guys listening. Like you said, we'd love to. I'm really enjoying the interaction that we're having so far online with you guys.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we are not sexual predators, so you can continue to talk to us online. It's a lot of fun.
What, dude? What?
So it's like when a cop wears a "I'm totally not a cop" shirt, but yeah, no. So anyways, keep following us, keep interacting with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Please share it out. Yeah, get it out to your friends.
Get
we
it
really
out there.
Appreciate it.
I think being on Spotify is nice because you can download and you don't have to have
you
Wi-Fi.
Don't have to have it. You also don't have to have it open,
right?
So you can turn it on.
Yeah,
close
lock
your
screen.
phone.
Yeah,
it's great.
really nice.
You can play through your car, all that good stuff.
Very convenient. But anyways, guys, this has been the show, and we hope to see you guys next time. And we'll also see you around the Natty.